Well, hey there, guys and gals, welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna show you a little quick video of the inside of the house, and then we'll get to the outside. All right, now that we've got the inside repaired, all of our flooring laid, we need to regroup, go outside and start working on this. As you guys can tell, we had a big mess in here, and we have a bigger mess outside to deal with. But so we can point out the do's and don'ts. If you don't know what you're doing, find somebody who does. There's a lot of homeowners out there that I understand everybody's trying to pinch a penny and times are tough, and you want to try to do the repair yourself because you know how to bang a nail and use a screw gun and a skill saw. But you've got to be really careful of what you do when it comes to things like this. There's a process to it. And had they not called me, this could have turned out badly for the person that would have been in here working. So just be careful, pay attention to what you're doing, watch videos, ask somebody, or at least get somebody who knows what they're doing to come in and do the worst part, like fix that beam underneath the wall. Now, if you guys didn't see my last video, it'll be attached to this one at the end, the beginning of what we had to do inside of the house. Now we're getting to the outside of the house, which is pretty rough shape. As you can tell, the entire lower band that carries this bearing wall, this is a bearing wall because of our A-roof, is completely rotted through. It's rotted all through here. What we did was we went inside and demoed the floor and did a repair of the interior beam. This is a double beam that carries this wall. Now we're gonna have to come out here and repair the outside beam, cut this plywood. Pretty much we have to remove this deck. Give me a second. We're pretty much gonna have to remove this deck from here all the way to the opposite corner of the house. Now, mind you, normally your joist would run this way and tie back into the house. You wouldn't have to tear the entire deck off. What you would do is your decking would run this direction. So you would take your first 2 rows of decking off, build a temporary wall underneath of the deck. It's, you know, sometimes when it's down near the ground, you don't have much choice. You can't really get a temporary wall underneath of it. You could go through and prop each joist all the way down through there, and then cut back from the band board. Your band board would be here. This band board, which lays up and attaches against the house, come over 3 inches and cut all the joists, and that gives you 4.5 inches to get inside of here and make your repair. If you do that and you have a deck that's up in the air, what you're going to want to do is, let's just say hypothetically this is up in the air, this is our band board up against the house. What you're going to want to do is brace your pole on 45 degrees from the band board down to the ground. Drive some stakes in the ground. Now, if you're going to drive stakes in the ground, I highly recommend you call 811. It's free, and unfortunately, yes, they're slow. It takes them about a week to come out and make sure you don't have any telephone lines, gas lines, water lines, any type of lines, power lines underneath the ground. You don't want to drive a stake into them. That's something that, trust me, if you do, you're responsible for it. You have to pay for it to have it fixed, and that's something that you don't want to do. But the reason you want to brace your deck, if this is a 2nd-story deck, you want to brace your deck back this way, because when even though you have a temporary wall underneath of your deck down through there, this can shift this way or that way. You don't want that to happen, because you could actually have that thing fall right over on you. Same thing when we were repairing this wall inside. I didn't show any of it on the video, but what we did was we braced the bottom of this wall back to the floor so it didn't move in and out, even though we had our temporary wall built down underneath of there. Because if this wall would have moved, this roof would have collapsed down. You can see this is our A roof, so that's a bearing wall. So So what we're going to do now is, like I said, we're going to go in here, remove all this decking. We're just going to go ahead and take these joists, cut them out, stack them to the side. We've got a beam that runs down through here. We need to get that out of our way, each section, and open this up. Come up 3 foot, cut our plywood all the way across. We're going to remove the siding at that window all the way across, and then we can get in there and expose and see what's going on. I already know that we have studs that are rotted clean through. Now, I'll be honest with you, the proper way to fix this when it gets to this point is to go build a temporary wall inside, brace this off, tear this entire wall out, fix your beam, start over, work your way back up. It's an expense that my customer doesn't want to incur, so we're at the mercy of his budget, I guess. So we're going to go in here and fix this the best we can. But he didn't want me to tear all this out, but once I opened it up and showed him, I said, this is all the way. It costs twice as much to come back and fix it as it does to go ahead and fix it as we're going. You know, in the beginning, just fix it right, or do the best we can. You know, we're going to open up the siding, and we're going to come in here, and we won't be able to replace the stud all the way up. We'll have to sister some studs as far as we can reach, things like that, to try to get the wall back in to where it's not going to collapse in on itself anymore. It's already dropped over a 1/2 inch. It was dropped over 1 inch, and we jacked it up the best we could. So now we're gonna get in here and tear this out, but I guess let me get to work, and I'm gonna go ahead and call this video for the day, and I'll put another video out of all this opened up and exposed to show you guys what we're talking about and how bad it can be. Hopefully this helps out somebody along the lines. You know, be really careful when you're doing this stuff, guys and gals. You know, I understand you want to try to save some money and things like this, but this is dangerous work if you're not careful what you're doing. You know, you would think, oh, we'll just go in there and tear that out and replace it. But as you're tearing it out, things are falling down and collapsing in on you. You don't want that. Now, we've got it to the point, since we fixed the single beam on the inside, that's actually carrying weight. And we put the floor back together inside, and we actually ran some blocks from that band to the joist inside to keep this from moving. So once we get out of here, we don't have to really worry too much about it collapsing in. Still have to pay attention when we're putting that band in there. We'll be beating and banging it in there. We don't want the other band to kick out from underneath of us. But hopefully this helps somebody out, and pay attention, and I'll be putting another video out in a day or so. And thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. If you like this type of video, think about subscribing, hit thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm to keep this video going. Thanks, guys. Catch you on the next one.